Let's talk to Matthew. Whoops.
Yo.
Matthew.
Peace.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Matthew?
How are you guys?
So good.
My question is, was there ever a time in high school when you felt like out of place?
High school.
Not.
Yeah, it was called high school.
Yeah.
Ninth grade.
Yeah, probably, ninth grade.
Yeah, most of ninth grade.
Yep.
You know what? Honestly, for me, I think I had a little more trouble in 10th, personally. Like, ninth was real weird just kind of transitioning to it, but I met a lot of people that were like, cool, whatever, met you, met a whole bunch of people, and it was kind of cool, like, I don't know, I felt like I made a lot of new friends. Yeah. Because the people in my 7th and 8th grade, they were shitheads. Yeah. But I met a lot of cool people in 9th grade. 10th grade was where I kind of didn't know, like, well, am I continuing with, like, theater stuff? Or I feel like I didn't know where I was, like, moving to in 10th grade. Yeah. And then finally, by the end of it, I was like, no, I'm this guy. I'm not that guy. I'm this guy. And then the rest of high school was fun. 10th grade was harder for me.
When I was in 9th grade, I was like an observer. I just like was too scared to partake in anything, so I just kind of watched things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember in my math class, I was in a class, and it was like these older seniors who were in this class, but they were just in there just to like, they were fucking around, whatever. And this cute girl and this one guy who kept going to me, I'm gonna fuck her later. I'm gonna fuck that girl later. I'm gonna fuck her later. Like, this is like throughout the course of the year, and then finally one day, I fucked her. And it was like, oh shit. It was a whole story about this guy.
That's a cool story.
But I just like sat there, I didn't say anything to them, I just watched
that's
them.
the thing. When you're like 13 or 14, you're like, whoa, these kids are like older. And
Yeah.
looking back at that, you're like, these kids are like 7, 5.
I know. But like, yeah, they were so old to me. And in my head, they're still really old. And now it's like, oh, they're just little kids.
I've been told I look like Hugh Jackman.
In high school, you're required to take like language classes as your electives. Mm-hmm. I held that off to my senior year. So my senior year of high school, I finally took my Spanish elective class. I was the only 12th grader in a class of 9th graders. But the teacher taught the class as if everyone was still in middle school. Yeah. So it's like, okay, kids, today you have homework. Now make sure you do it, because if you don't do it, you're going to get a bad grade and you might not get, in a good class in 10th grade. It was like, she always spoke down to us, and I fucking hated that class.
It's funny. I was just thinking about this stuff earlier today. Because what I was thinking about was, I remember I had a terrible, we don't need to name her, but terrible school counselor.
Super God! I had the same fucking lady.
Same lady, and it was not a good experience.
That lady.
Yeah. And and I remember going into...
No, we all.
Yeah.
We all had her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all have last names in the first...
Yeah. And I remember specifically going into 10th grade. Again, when I was in 10th grade, I told you it was like a hard kind of time. And I went to go see her, like, what should I do? And she's like... I see you did all this theater stuff in 9th grade. And I was like, yeah, and I really enjoyed that. And that was where I met everybody. And she was like, yeah, you need to like curb that now. I was like, what? Yeah, you really want to get your foreign language stuff out of the way. So I would hunker down on that now. And you only have room for one elective in 10th grade. So don't do theater. Do not go back to theater. You got to do every Spanish class you can. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like I'm making good. I'm like doing really good in theater, and I met a bunch of people there, and I'm working hard on it. And she went, none of that will matter. Do your foreign language now, because you're not going to remember Spanish in a year. And it was like, I think I learned it for a year. I think I'll remember that. I think I will. No, you won't. When you go in, if you do Spanish later in high school, you'll be at square one. Well, I didn't listen to her. I did theater. I met Derek. I met all kinds of people. And seriously, I think if I would have followed her advice, I wouldn't have stayed in touch with any of those people. I'd be really good at Spanish. But hey, I did it. I went back to Spanish later in high school, and I did fine, and I aced it. So it was like not a big deal. I could remember. She didn't think I would remember stuff. I did.
This lady asked me about, we had to do tech fundamentals.
Yeah.
And they still didn't have that class. We had to do tech fundamentals. Right. And then they said, she asked, are you a good typer? I'm like, not really. Well, do you ever look at your hands when you type? Yeah. Okay, I'll put you in typing. It's the same thing as tech fundamentals. And I was like, okay. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I didn't realize that it was a full year class as opposed to a semester tech fundamentals.
Oh my god.
So she fucked me. I basically think what she needed was she needed to fill that class up, and she needed whatever. So she just pawned me off in that fucking class.
Yeah.
Fuck that lady.
Did you ever transfer classes ever?
West Hills?
I did
Did,
once.
but when?
One
What
time.
did I do?
I did a few times.
I
Yeah.
did.
Transfer classes often.
I only really did it one time, and I think I already said this before. But when I did, I used to. I was taking a lot of AP classes, and then I went in junior year. I did AP American History, and I don't remember the teacher's name, but he was a real funny guy. And they went ahead of time like, hey, this is going to be a hard class. But I was like, I love American History. I could take it. And so by it being difficult, I think like, oh, I'm going to have a lot to read or a lot to remember. We get there and he's like, I'm going to take a quiz. I'm going to do quizzes every like other day. And it can be on anything in the book. Okay, I'm down for that. I'll remember everything. And then I went in and it was like, what was the picture on page 80? What was? And then it was like, well, why? Who gives a shit what page it was on? Just ask me questions about it. And then one of the questions was, what was the name of the Continental Army? I don't remember what that was. Oh, it was the Continental Army. It didn't have a name beyond that. All right, get me out of this class. Here's the thing. And then he was like trying to talk me out of it. Like, if you're not doing well, why not use this as the opportunity to get better? Because I don't want to get better at tricks.
You're tricking me.
Yeah, this is all joke shit, and I don't want to continue with this. Okay, and then so I transferred out of that, and I think I don't remember what I took instead, like economics or something. But that was the only time.
Freddie Prinze Jr. in my younger days. Of Brown, Casper Van Dien, even.
Do you have any advice for me? Because I don't really fit in my high school or anything. Like any good advice, just kind of coasting through or like making the best out of a situation.
Yeah,
Drop out.
No,
I'm with Frank.
I disagree.
I second Frank's.
I would say
Drop out. Frank, I'm with you.
do your homework.
Study hard.
That's all you have to do is your homework. You'll get a C.
You know what I've noticed, and not even a joke here, is that a lot of times I saw people in high school and they were just giving whatever. I'm not gonna do anything. They didn't do the homework. I was that kid. I didn't do any homework. Whatever. They didn't take it seriously at all. And like, I'm gonna be fine. I got a job lined up for me once I get out of high school. I'm gonna fix cars. It's set. And now those people are busing at restaurants, and it's like, oh, it's like 12 years later. You know, like it like breaks my heart sometimes to see the people like, you should have gone to college maybe, or you should have like found something you really cared about instead of just coasting through everything. So I guess my advice is try to find something you're really passionate about, whatever it is. It may not be a school thing. For me, I'm fucking awful at like English, math. I'm not good at that shit, but I'm good at being creative, and I found my thing. So you gotta find your thing, is my suggestion to you.
Try different stuff. I would say be friendly, because if your teachers like you, you can get away with whatever you want. If you really want to skate, just become friends with your teachers.
Yeah, like that Spanish class I had where I was a 12th grader and 9th grader. I didn't do any of the homework or any of it. Freshmen looked up to me, so every morning the kids would let me copy their homework. So I didn't study or anything. I had a D, and you needed a C in order to like get into Fullerton or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just asked the teacher like, "Hey, can I just have a C?" Okay, because I was friendly with her. Yeah, the biggest thing is like ignore all the like dumb like social politics of high school, like who's popular, all that. Just like that stuff doesn't matter. Just like be friendly with everyone.
Yeah, be positive.
Yeah.
Do your own thing. People will notice you, and they will want to be your friend.
Yeah.
And then senior year, it feels like everyone just becomes friends because they're just so fucking over it.
Because they finally get it.
That was also my 8th grade.
Yeah.
Honestly, in 8th grade, I remember by the end talking to people that I'd never had before, and it was just because everyone was like, we're not paying attention to this shit, right? Okay, great.
Yeah, just try to have fun with it. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I liked high school when I was 17.
By the end, yeah.
I know people have a really tough time in high school, but that was for me in middle school, and then once I got to high school.
Yeah, I had a way worse time in junior high, personally. Junior high sucked for me. It's really weird. Like again, like when I went to junior high, it was me and like tons of thugs, and I was really worried because my brother was 5 years younger and going at the same school, and I was like, shit, I wonder if he's gonna have the same experience. And his whole class was like, he was friends with everybody. It was great. I was like, what was with my 7th and 8th grade? It was seriously like kids like getting in trouble all the time. It was like criminals. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Maybe you just didn't give them a chance.
Yeah, I didn't give them a chance.
GTA
They were like, they like hit a teacher with a rock in her head. Like, yeah,
my God.
I should have given them a
That's
chance.
cool as hell.
I should have thrown one too.
Give friendship a chance.
Give friendship a chance.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, well, good luck, man.
Yeah, man.
good luck,
Why were you
Matthew.
passionate about?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Drop out.
Okay.
Is that for fucking real? All right.